Once upon a time, in a bright and busy village, lived a couple named Fatima and Lau. They had a little home, not big and fancy, but full of love. Fatima was very pretty, with a kind smile that lit up the room, and Lau was strong and handsome. They were very happy because they had 4 beautiful daughters, each one like a sparkly gem, bright and beautiful. But Fatima and Lau were very poor. Every day, Lau worked very hard. He went to other people's farms and did a lot of work just to make sure they had enough food to eat. It wasn't always a lot, but they were thankful for whatever they had. Fatima, too, helped a lot. She fetched water, washed clothes for other people, and carried loads in the market, all to add a little more for their family. But even with all their hard work, things were tough. The little girls were growing, and they needed things like books and pencils for school, but Fatima and Lau often found it hard to pay for these. Sometimes the girls would come home early from school because they couldn't pay the fees. It made Fatima and Lau sad, but they hugged their daughters, played with them, and tried to make each day as happy as they could. Their home was always filled with laughter and the sound of little feet running around. Even though they didn't have much, Fatima and Lau loved each other and their daughters so much. They believed that somehow things would get better, they just didn't know how yet. So, every night under the twinkling stars, Fatima and Lau would sit outside their small house, hold hands, and dream of a better tomorrow for their sweet girls. They knew it wasn't easy, but they had hope, and that was something very special to have. One sunny morning, Lau felt very heavy in his heart. He knew he needed to find a way to make things better for his family, so he decided to visit his friend in the next village, hoping for some help. He walked a long way under the big blue sky, thinking about his little girls and Fatima. When Lau reached his friend's house, he was welcomed with a warm smile. Lau told his friend about the tough times they were having. He asked, "Can you help me with some money?" His friend listened carefully and then said, "Lau, I won't just give you fish, I'll show you how to catch them so you won't be hungry again." Lau didn't understand at first, but he nodded, hoping for some good news. His friend took him to see an old man called the herbalist, who lived deep in the forest. The herbalist's house was odd, covered in strange marks and surrounded by weird plants. Lau felt a shiver as he stepped inside. The air was thick with the smell of herbs and something else Lau couldn't quite name. The herbalist listened to Lau's story, his eyes twinkling in a strange way. Then he said, "I can help you become very rich, but it comes with a price." Lau was eager to know more. "What do I need to do?" he asked. The herbalist looked at him seriously and said, "You must use your children in the ritual. They won't die, but they will suffer." Lau was shocked and horrified. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. "I can't do that," he said. "I want the money to make my children's lives better, not to harm them. I'd rather leave than do this to my own daughters." But then the herbalist said something scary. "Now that your eyes have seen and your ears have heard, if you walk away, you won't make it home."